Suzi, hebu kamwone. Yule dem tulikuwa tunaambiwa.
Kwani amefanya? Hizi shop zote 3 ni zake. Na next door anachukua pia.
Na imagine tuko na haka kitu kamoja tu.
Na ni bodyguard zako na wana.
Nasikia wanamshughulikia everything. ATM zake, credit card zake 24/7.
Hadi usiku.
Kwani 24/7 inamaanisha?
That means wanamlipia hata bill zake pia. KRA, NHIF, UEFA. Nafanywa zote akiwa ametulia tu hivi.
Kitu kingine nasikia ni eti so secure.
Kwani kuna banki yake, si mtu kama hizi utakamtoa anaenda kwa bank. Nasikia hiyo katu hivi. The whole day kwa tablet akifanywa kila kitu.
Na hao bodyguards wake ndio umpelekea do kwa majuu.
Unaona wale wawili wa soap au fanya bulk payments.
Nilisikia ni ati local accounts zake, foreign accounts zake anashughulikiwa.
Aki no wonder business yake imegrow hivyo Lazima kuna bank yake special.
Your banking team is at your fingertips. Go digital. Visit coopbank.co.ke and click on New Internet Banking.
Kilimo Chapa, kipindi kinachokuelimisha, kukujuza na kukupa mwanga katika kilimo. Kipindi kilichorahisishwa hatua baada ya hatua kwenye safari ya kilimo na biashara. Nia yetu ni kukupa ujuzi kwa njia ya vitendo, haswa kwenye maeneo ya ufugaji, upanzi wa mimea, magonjwa, magugu na hata wadudu. Tunakupa fursa ya kufahamu kilimo kwa kina. Ungana nasi kila siku ya Ijumaa saa 12 jioni katika Kilimo Chapa, makala yako kwenye runinga uipendayo, Maisha TV.
Wow, thank you for your time. How juicy.
Juicy. Juicy.
Well, it is always an honor to have you on board for Maisha Prime News. My name is Ruda Tibet Kering and you're watching Maisha Television. But first, let's have a look at our top stories.
Kama wewe ungekuwa rais na watu wanakutukana kwa TV, unawaona wakikutukana, hata wewe unaweza fikiria aje?
President Uhuru's home county Kiambu Women Rep Gathoni wa Muchomba ditches Uhuru for Hustler movement led by the Deputy President William Ruto.
1,000 shillings. But 15,000 shillings, Honorable Speaker, to a motorcycle rider.
Blow to Treasury as major financial bills are thrown out by the members of Parliament. another bad day for President Uhuru Kenyatta, who has suffered yet another blow in his quest to unite his Mount Kenya backyard after another key ally bolted out. The Kiambu women representative Gathoni Wamuchomba has today, 23rd of June, switched camp from the Kieleweke faction of the Jubilee Party to Deputy President William Ruto's Hustler Nation. Bushebi Jr. prepared a full report of this.
It is that time again of jibes and jabs between President Uhuru Kenyatta and his Deputy President William Ruto. The fault line is widening, evidenced by massive switch of Uhuru's die-hard supporters to William Ruto's Hustlers movement. Kenya witnessed another of the biggest defection moves in the recent past in political fraternity, adding to the growing number of people running away from Uhuru Kenyatta to join William Ruto few days after reports of possible coalition agreement between ODM and Jubilee. President Uhuru Kenyatta's home county Kiambu women representative Gathoni Wamuchomba is the latest crucial loss in the account. The controversial women representative has ditched the president and the Kieleweke brigade associated with him in favor of the Hustler movement that is led by Deputy President William Ruto. Wamuchomba, who has been an advent back of Uhuru and ODM leader Raila Odinga, was received by Ruto at his current residence, where she was accompanied by Kikuyu Member of Parliament Kimani Ichung'wah and Githwa Wamachukuru of Kabete, who are key supporters of the DP's 2022 presidential bid. The move to join the DP comes after months of adopting a low profile on national politics and days after her suggestive social media post in which she appeared to criticize the president when it was reported in the media that he supports one of the NASA leaders in 2022 polls. Controversial Wamuchomba, who is Uhuru's home county women representative and who was a beneficiary of the last year's purge against the DP allies in parliament when she took over the leadership of Kiwopa and also appointed vice chair of the Lucrative Roads Committee, was unhappy, asserting that her strong support for Kieleweke brigade was not beneficial to her politically.
Kama wewe ungekuwa rais na watu wanakutukana kwa TV, unawaona wakikutukana, hata wewe unaweza fikiria aje?
According to the unnamed source, a last year's event at Githiga in Kiambu, where she was heckled in the presence of Interior Principal Secretary Karanja Kibicho, was the straw that broke the camel's back, saying instead of finding a better way to redeem her political image, State House officials and MPs allied to Uhuru used it against her by claiming that she was no longer helpful in the camp.
Pitia katika hiyo document inaitwa BBI. Asanteni sana na Mungu awabariki.
Further, she and Governor James Nyoro have been on the receiving end of Uhuru's men over the humiliating loss of Juja by-election, where Jubilee's Susan Njeri, the widow of former area MP Francis Waititu alias Wakape, lost to George Koimburi, a die-hard supporter of Uhuru who was forced to join Gatundu South Member of Parliament Moses Kuria's People's Empowerment Party. Wamuchomba, who is also grappling with a hostile ground over her past political mistakes, was also part of the campaign team that was inexplicably given a wide berth by other leaders in the county, save for Gatundu North's Wanjiku Wakibe and former Kiambu Governor William Kabogo. Nyeri Town Member of Parliament Ngunjiri Wambugu has said Jubilee Party is likely to lose more valuable players after Kiambu County Women Representative Gathoni Wamuchomba defected to Deputy President William Ruto's camp on Tuesday. Ngunjiri, an ardent President Uhuru Kenyatta's supporter, said Jubilee Party should start reorganizing itself ahead of next year's general elections. Maisha TV.
And the government could find itself back to the drawing board in its effort to fund the massive 3.6 trillion shilling budget, which is supposed to cover the financial year starting in the next 1 week. This is after the MPs shot down the most of the proposals contained in the financial bill that will have forced poor Kenyans to dig deeper into their pockets to make ends meet.
The cries and plea of poor Kenyans were answered after the MPs on Tuesday, June 22nd, rejected a raft of taxes proposed by Treasury CS Sukuria Tani, arguing that they will pile more burden on Kenyans already grappling with harsh economy. In the draft amendments made to the Finance Bill 2021, they rejected the CS plan to raise the value-added tax VAT without their input.
This is where we have to be hawk-eyed to see that is the raising of funds by government hurting the economy further or hurting the local mwananchi very, very severely.
The CS lamented that seeking MP's approval delayed the enforcement of tax changes. Yatani suffered another blow after the lawmakers further rejected his proposed VAT taxes on bread, flour, and a 15% tax on the purchase of motorcycles.
Many of them are even riding motorcycles that they hire or they lease from the actual owners. And if you increase excise duty for these motorcycles, Honorable Speaker, you make the motorcycles more expensive. And you may assume probably to want to increase by 15,000 shillings. But 15,000 shillings, Honorable Speaker, to a motorcycle rider, a hustler who is hustling, Honorable Speaker.
Gladys Wanga, the chairperson of the National Assembly Finance Committee, lamented that the bread is a basic commodity that shouldn't be taxed. Yatani had sought Parliament's nod to introduce 16% value-added tax on bread.
Treasury and members of this House have to balance between cushioning Kenyans from the COVID-19 pandemic, but at the same time raising sufficient revenue to fund or to finance the 3.6 trillion budget.
MPs agreed to maintain the price of bread. They also shot down Yatani's proposal to tax borders, stating that the sector has created loss of job opportunities, especially during the COVID-19 crisis.
But the issue of bread, Honorable Speaker, I think, Honorable Speaker, as a country, we need to agree, and as a House, we need to agree on one thing. Taxation of basic commodities, commodities which without you will die, should be avoided. Mr. Speaker, if we are serious about promoting green energy in this country, let us make it affordable, Mr. Speaker. So on that account, I shall be bringing amendments seeking to remedy the LPG gas situation, Mr. Speaker.
Yatani was also paid to the idea of charging border buyers 15% for each newly purchased bike rather than the normal 11,608 Kenyan shillings rate. Another tax that was rejected was the digital service tax, which was to be imposed on digital services offered in Kenya. KRA was set to charge digital marketplaces 1.5% of the gross transactional value.
The KRA Act, the Retirement Benefits Act, and the Central Depositories Act. Honorable Speaker, this finance bill is done at a very delicate time, when
expectant mothers were offered relief after the MPs proposed VAT exemptions of all the products related to newborns. The MPs further proposed reducing the excise duty on betting from 20% to 7.5%, stating that the introduction of the 20% will affect gamblers and betting companies. Kenyans were nonetheless cornered after the lawmakers rejected to exclude fees earned from the 20% excise duty on loans.
And to matters health, the Ministry of Health, through the National Vaccines and Immunization Program, is set to conduct a measles rubella vaccination campaign in 22 selected counties from 25th June to 5th July 2021. The campaign targets to reach approximately 3.5 million children aged between 9 and 59 months.
Vaccination against measles will protect children from this debilitating disease, which is one of the leading causes of deaths among children less than 5 years old. Therefore, the measles vaccine will further reduce measles mortality and contribute significantly to a sustainable development goals, both SDG 3 and SDG 4.
We are in the COVID-19 pandemic. The immunization program has taken quite a bit of a hit due to the COVID pandemic as it is today. We're witnessing immunity gaps within the country, and the country is moving and committed to be able to bridge these immunity gaps.
Despite the good progress made so far, Kenya has continued to experience measles outbreaks since the last nationwide MR campaign in 2016. In the years 2019, 20 and 21, Kenya has continued to suffer measles outbreaks in the counties of Mandera, Wajir, Garissa, Tana River, Kilifi, Kajiado, West Pokot, among others.
A section of legislators from the African Parliamentarians Network have vowed to relook into the sacking of the Masai Mara University hazed whistleblower Spencer Sankale. Sankale, who was the chief finance officer, was sacked recently by the university over allegations of gross violation of the university's code of practice. While commemorating the World Whistleblower Day, the legislators, including Entebe's MP Robert Kose and Kisumu East Member of Parliament Shakel Hamed Shakir, have also vowed to table before Parliament a motion that will see the whistleblower protection policies reviewed.
Today is World Whistleblowers Day, 23rd of June 2021, and this is a day that we celebrate each year to be able to encourage the whistleblowers who are able to highlight on issues that are happening within either institutions or within departments of governments in as far as corruption is concerned. I'll be seeking the permission of the Speaker to make a statement on the floor of the National Assembly to ask the University Council of Mara University to reinstate Sangale back to work, because that is a very unfortunate situation that somebody who is able to raise matters that are happening within an institution ends up being victimized for being able to highlight this situation that was happening at Mara University. When that happens as a society and we condone that kind of mistreatment, then it will be discouraging other whistleblowers from coming out. Therefore, we want to stand with solidarity with the Sangale to ask the university that he be reinstated back.
Members of Parliament, nitaenda kwa committee ya education, nitaomba committee chair waite commission ni Masai Mara University na chancellor, ulize ni shauri gani walisimamisha yeye. So they should kana moyo, mara hiyo you are not going to go like the others.
A section of Migori members of County Assembly have accused the Speaker for derailing efforts to have him impeached by changing the venue of Assembly sittings from the current premises. In a rejoinder, the Speaker Boaz Okoth has termed the attempts to impeach him as politically instigated plot to dent his image and ambition to be the next county governor.
He said that we did not file the motion procedurally. The County Assembly of Migori cannot be run as if it's a private institution.
The Honorable Speaker of Migori County Assembly obtained overdraft without the knowledge of members of Migori County Assembly. The law confers authority on members of the County Assembly to approve any overdraft for this County Assembly.
Let those who are in competition look for them, talk to them, ask votes from them, not someone, right?
Now, efforts to impeach the embattled Kisii County Assembly Speaker David Kombo have been put on hold after the courts stopped the impeachment until the case is heard and determined. Kombo has been involved in a tug of war for the last 8 months with ward representatives. Kombo has said that he will continue to discharge his duties as the Speaker of Kisii County.
Let them know that I don't hate them. Let them know that I'm ready to work with everybody in town.
We have been in some discussions. We have been consulting with the group which wanted to remove the speaker and the group which was supporting, and at least over this weekend we reached some agreement that we should let the speaker back so that we can continue with the business which of course has made us to be elected to this assembly.
My appeal is to all honored members that let us work together, let us work into conjunction in moving this county to the next level. And also my appeal is that to the Speaker, that he should work without biasness or being partial.
And the Chebukati-led team, the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, IEBC, says that boundaries delimitation process not possible before the 2022 general election, an exercise that was scheduled for 2024. The commission chairman Wafula Chebukati says that the process of voter registration has been hindered by meager allocation of resources from the National Treasury. The Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, IEBC, has clarified that no new constituencies will be gazetted before the 2022 general election.
Why only constituency officers? Because there has been no budget allocated to us the last 3 years for CBR.
Speaking during the flagging of the Voter Education Week, the IEBC chair Wafula Chebukati clarified that the process of delimitation will be completed by March 2022.
It's only now that with the next financial year we have allocated some budget which will now enable the Commission to roll out mass voter registration. As we all know, the registration of voters is voluntary, and you cannot of course, force Kenyans to register, and using minimal or even no resources at all, we have reached out to the numbers which have so far registered.
Article 89 of the Constitution requires the Commission to review names and boundaries of constituencies at intervals of not less than 8 years and not more than 12. IEBC is also mandated to review the number, names and boundaries of wards periodically, but the number of constituencies must be maintained at 290 per the Constitution.
Our planning and the election, the boundaries operation plan is based on the legal framework which we have and the practical issues which we have as a commission.
According to Chebukati, the review process was delayed by challenges with funding for the process. IEBC was allocated over 150 million Kenyan shillings in supplementary budget to start the process of delimitation of electoral boundaries. The last delimitation or fixing the boundary was conducted in 2012, meaning that the Commission can still conduct the exercise by 2024.
Whether we trust your technical staff, Kamindo, or we take what we have received through your memorandum, which says that this exercise cannot be complete before March 2023. So, Chairman, which position should we take?
We're looking at the matter in court in the Court of Appeal, and as far as the Commission is concerned, this matter is sub judice, and we cannot possibly, as a Commission, now plan on a matter which is in court and say this is what we shall do or this is not what we shall do.
The Wednesday statement confirmed that the Commission had since received the funds for the exercise as well as the allocation to conduct the voter registration exercise. IEBC confirmed that the voter registration exercise will begin in July 2021 with 14.6 billion Kenyan shillings allocated to the exercise.
Are you prepared for the general elections? How will you conduct the elections if you are short of by 13 billion? That is the importance of this question. And it must be understood because we want to know what the breakdown is so that we understand how the Treasury or the respective committee of budget allocated you 14.5 billion. And you are saying, in fact, part of the 14.5 billion is for mass voter registration.
Their commission is targeting 25 million new voters in the exercise. Maisha Tv.
And in Machakos, the Machakos County CEC Finance, Francis Maliti, has accused the Treasury for non-committal in the disbursement of over 1 billion shillings set for Machakos County. Maliti spoke after the reading of 2021-2022 budget highlights in the County Assembly of Machakos, say that the delay of funds has led to drastic scaling down of services after failing to receive the money from the National Treasury for the past 3 months.
Moja, you don't spend what you don't have. That money was supposed to land to us from the national government, lakini haijaland, haijafika. Yeah? kiasi cha kama bilioni moja, total about 1.something billion. Bado ni ukweli, hiyo ni ukweli, lakini hiyo shida sio permanent. Hiyo shida ya gloves ambayo unasikia hivi sasa ni kwa sababu national government ambao wanatakiwa kutupea era kama milioni 700 kila mwezi hawajapea kaunti ya Machakos hizo pesa kuanzia mwezi wa 3, na hivi sasa tunapoongea ni mwezi wa 6. Kwa hivyo for 3 months we have not received any coin from the national government. Kwa hivyo hiyo imetutatiza kiasi. Suppliers wetu tunaongea nao, survival ile tuko nayo, wengine wanakubali wakati mwingine kutupea hizo gloves. Kwa hivyo hilo ni janga ambalo is a problem which is not isolated to Machakos County. It's a problem which is all of. In fact, some counties hata wajalipa mishahara wafanyikazi. Kwa hivyo wakidelay inamaanisha kwamba even development ita delay. Manake suppliers watasema sisi tutafanya hiyo kazi wakati mtakuwa na hela. Kwa hivyo ina delay development, ina interrupt services like the way you said. Kama kwa hospitali unapata kwamba instead of having all the drugs there, unapata uwezi kununua zote.
And now Kenyans have been greatly inconvenienced as the most popular money transfer platform M-Pesa went down this afternoon for almost an hour. However, the Safaricom issued text messages to its customers on the pertinent issue, as many Kenyans who have embraced cashless payment were left in the dark. Most Kenyans on the Safaricom network were unable to perform any transactions as they embraced the M-Pesa as a mode of payment to support the government's bid to control the spread of the COVID-19. The affected Kenyans have taken to social media to express their frustrations about the issue and the numerous hitches Safaricom service have faced recently. Well, much appreciation to you, my viewer, who has been with me all throughout the bulletin. That's all we had for Maisha Prime. My name is Rida Chebet Kering. Enjoy your night.
Kilimo Chapa, kipindi kinachokuelimisha, kukujuza na kukupa mwanga katika kilimo. Kipindi kilichorahisishwa hatua baada ya hatua kwenye safari ya kilimo na biashara. Nia yetu ni kukupa ujuzi kwa njia ya vitendo, haswa kwenye maeneo ya ufugaji, upanzi wa mimea, magonjwa, magugu na hata wadudu. Tunakupa fursa ya kufahamu kilimo kwa kina. Ungana nasi kila siku ya Ijumaa saa 12 jioni katika kilimo cha paa, makala yako kwenye runinga uipendayo.